Alright guys, welcome to Everyday Journey. Today, if I haven't mentioned it before, I've got a lawn care business. And if you have a lawn care business and you want to make maximum profits, then you're going to have to do your own work. Well, do your own work on the properties, but do your own work on the equipment too, because the stuff gets expensive, especially if you have somebody else do the work. So today I got two weed eaters, both of them broken. One of them I could still use. It's this red one here. And the clutch is actually engaged all the time, so it's spinning the head no matter what. You know, it's supposed to let loose whenever you let go of the throttle, but it doesn't do it. This one here, I was using it because this one was messed up, and this one actually has the pull string broke off of it. So they're both in the same areas whenever you go working on them. So we'll tear into these, and most of it will be pretty close to the same. This one just hopefully I could just reuse that same cord. That way I don't even have to use my other cord that I have. But we'll see as we get into it. Alright, first thing, start tearing this apart. It's just a plastic housing. You actually just unscrew it. Holy cow. I think we either need a bigger one of these, because that one for some reason just stripped. And let's try an Allen. It's not supposed to be an Allen, but they kind of rounded it off a little bit using that hex or 6-point star. That should be good for that. Let's see if this will. Nope, it's still turning. Still spinning in there. It's a little bit rusted. That's the way it goes. We're on them again. Alright. Let's see, what's the history on this one? This weed eater right here. It's been pretty good all up until the head. Well, originally I bought this one. You good old Craigslist. Somebody was fed up with the fact that it wasn't running good, so they were selling it for 20, 25 bucks. It was running, but it wasn't running good, so I first got it, thought that the problem was just the primer bulb, placed that and it didn't fix the problem. It wouldn't stay running, so I just went online, got myself a carb kit, pulled the carb out of it, and just rebuilt the carburetor. It's been running alright ever since. Not great, but alright. Alright, so that first one I just took off, that actually tightens it onto the drive shaft. This one actually holds it, keeps it from spinning on the drive shaft, so everything stays in line. And I don't really want to take this handle off because it's got springs in it. It's a pain in the butt to mess with. So let's see if I can just disconnect everything here. Of course, it's a smaller bit. And I know you really can't see this, but this is just this is just a bracket there that's holding the throttle cable in place. And I want to take the throttle cable off. So pull this cover off for the carburetor, and we'll take this linkage there. Now we've got two connectors right here. These are obviously going up to the going onto the on-off switch or the off switch, the kill switch. They should be the same because it's just going in line. Once you hit this kill switch, it connects them and it kills the motor. So that's got that loose. Now I can actually pull this off of the drive shaft. Just be careful because it may hit the floor. There we go. I don't really want to pull all that. Well, it's coming through, so nah. We're just going to set this to the side. There we go. Alright. Well, that's not really a very good place, but we'll leave it be. We'll start taking apart all these other screws. We're just trying to take this plastic housing off right now. Hopefully this doesn't fall on the floor. Alright, let's get those. Let's move on up to the bigger bit. It's best to remember where everything goes. If you need to, just draw your little diagram as you do it. Of course, we got some screws here in the back for the exhaust cover. Switch back to the smaller bit. This isn't really that hard of a task. That's got one in it. I don't think it's reaching. Can't really see very well here. Oh yeah, they're in there. Just gotta get something to reach in there to get them out. See if an Allen will work. Sometimes you can use an Allen wrench on these. Sometimes. They're just deeper in here and I can't reach them with this. So, Allen wrench seems to work. I know you really can't see this, but it's just a matter of taking out all the screws that hold this housing on. It's not that difficult of a task. Just make sure you know where everything goes back together. Try to simplify this as much as possible. There you go. Exhaust cover comes off. And be careful because sometimes there's springs and things like that in these. There we go. Holy cow, okay. This one is a little different than the other one. I'll just move this out of the way. What you see right here is clutch, which looks like it's fine. Springs all around it, everything's intact. It's got plenty of wear still left on it. My deal right now is just rewrapping my cord around this Here you can see where it broke. Right here. Barely see it there, but the cord's sticking out. So all I'm going to do is figure out what I need to do to get that piece that's still left in there out and put the other one in, without hopefully having to take apart everything else, but it looks like I'm going to have to. So go ahead and try and pry off this clutch. Huh, a bit more light. I'm going to try and hook these channel locks onto the biggest part I can here, so hopefully this is there's a magnet that spins around here, and that's the biggest place to grip this, least likely to break off. Of course, now I need something else for this. There we go, that works. Just leave the clutch together. It says off in a little direction arrow on here, so just follow that. It's going the same direction. So most things would go off, so place everything down in the same order you took it off, so you don't have to worry about getting things mixed up. Here we go. It's got 3 little screws here. You take this off to get the spool off. And we don't even have to take them all the way off. This, I don't think. Yeah, might as well. Alright, just screws with little brackets sticking off. And all they do is hold this in, keep it from coming off track. Like my garage door, which obviously needs some more attention. Alright, so there we go. Needle nose? That's a negative, Ghost Rider. Shows my age. There we go. All we gotta do is put another one through, knot it just like that. I'm going to attempt to use the same one. It's only shortened by a little bit. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and use the string the way it is. Flip it around though, put our knot on the inside. Pull out the part from the handle, turn it around. That's going to go on the inside on the spool. We're actually going to feed it backwards through here, or attempt it. Let's try pushing it through. Use my Allen, smallest one I got. If it wasn't all frayed up on the end, this would be a lot easier. But since it broke, obviously, it's not going to be perfect. But it's going in. Alright, it's through. We don't even have to tie our knot because it's already on the other side. There we go. Now we're just going to wind this up. Put the spring on, put the cover over the spring. We didn't want that yet. Yep, and I got tension, it wants to pull back. Not great, but the more you pull back, the more tension it is. So, let's get the thing back together. Pretty sure this is right. Make sure this cable is at the top. That's where you're going to be pulling from. Honestly, guys, in most cases this is easier on a lawnmower. You know what I didn't do? I didn't put the little brackets back on. Be more helpful if I did things the way I'm supposed to. Let's hold it with my thumb. Keep it from spinning out of place. One down. Two down. And three. sure everything's sitting properly. Looks good to me, but what do I know? Alright, I've actually just tied a piece of trash tie or wire tie or something to the string. I've got a little bit of tension on there, so I'm trying to keep that tension on there. You'll need it to be able to return the spring, well, return the string back into the weed eater. So I just tied it to the end there and I wrapped it around something. Let's go ahead and let's try that again. I think that's good. Alright, so that's back on. Keep checking the camera. Battery's about to die. Alright guys, battery died on the camera, so I had to take a break. We're just about got this thing together. We'll go ahead and put the rest of the screws back in the front here. It's two right here connecting the gas tank to the main housing. got one more over on this side. And one more on this side. Alright. Now I gotta hook up the exhaust cover again. And before you got to this part, you saw me kind of, whenever I was putting the what do you call it? Well, whenever I was putting everything together on the inside, I saw me kind of pull on the string, make sure it had tension, because you don't want to put it all back together if it doesn't, or else you'd just be wasting your time. So it's kind of was a test there to make sure that it was going together right. One thing I didn't mention on this, which is a good safety thing, is before you ever got started, and I didn't do it, the best thing to do was to pull the spark plug on this, or at least pull the cable from the spark plug, because well, whenever I pulled it, I didn't pull it hard enough to start it, but you know, it could have started, and then it would just sit here and gone crazy. So that would have kept that from happening. Got one more here in the back. Okay. I get to start putting this back together. Alright. Try my best not to mess up all my lighting and everything else that I got in here. Just kind of wiggle this back and forth. Make sure the shaft goes down. If you need to, you can turn the head some. That'll spin the shaft a little. And of course, it wants to be a pain. So, push against the table while I turn this. And it does not want to go in. So let's see how this is lining up. Yeah, it needs to go a little further in. Come on, buddy, line up. We're going to put it on the floor. For some reason, it's not going in, so we'll pull it back out and check out why. Don't see offhand why. So try it again. There it goes. All the way down in there. Alright. Now I'll put our screw in this side. Got a nut that goes on the other side. And by no means am I a pro at this. I don't do this for a living, just like most of you don't either. So what I do is I use this for a living, so I just need it to work. Don't be afraid to pull things apart. You know, if it wasn't working anyway, as long as you can keep all the parts, keep from losing anything, then if you can't get it to get back together and you can't fix it yourself, you can always take all the parts into somebody and they can do it for you. So, you know, just try your best. You know, watch the videos if you can. Get a good idea of what's going on before you even start it. Then you'll kind of know where you got to go from there. So there's a little hole that goes through the shaft. Well, not the shaft, but the shaft of the weed eater. The part that actually is not driving everything, but just, you know, just this yellow shaft. That let me grab my drill here. That dropped off the table, but it's got a little hole in it that this screw that I'm putting in goes into, and all it does is keep the shaft in position. So you just got to make sure that's lined up good. Look at that. That one's tripped too. So use my Allen wrench to tighten it the rest of the way. Need the right size Allen wrench though. These things are all rusty, and it's inevitable that they're going to try to strip. Plus I may not be using the right size hex or Torx bit. So, alright, that's in. Now we got to turn it back over and hook back up our throttle. Of course mine's all dirty, so I know exactly which hole this went into. You, on the other hand, may not be able to see that. You just take note whenever you take it apart which hole that goes into on the carburetor. And now obviously this screw shouldn't have gone out yet. It's gone in because I need it to hold this little bracket here. I'm just going to put it back in the position it was in. And then we'll hook up our kill switch wires. And again, it shouldn't matter which way they go, because it's just completing a circuit. They both, if you were to be able to take these wires off and strip it and touch them together, it'd be the same thing as pushing the button. So check our linkage there, make sure that that's operating right. Put our cover back on the carburetor here, and see if this thing will start. If it doesn't, pull it back out, try it again. So, prime it. Of course the garage is not a good place for this, but I'm just starting it so it won't matter. Let's see if it starts. Kill switch works, starts, runs, everything's good. That's one weed eater down. Alright, so that weed eater's fixed. Move on to the next one. Thanks for watching Everyday Journey. Take a second to like my page. Of course, subscribe, and you'll be able to see all the things that I do day to day. Slowly getting the videos on there. Recording like crazy, just the editing process takes a while. So feel free to leave any comments you like, and you guys have a good day. Problems. Garage door's off track. Moving on.